Hello and welcome. My name is Peace Mitchell and I'm co-founder of Women Changing the World Press. Before we begin, I'd like to pay my respects to the traditional owners of the land that I live and work on, the people of Mammoo country in North Queensland. And I would also like to acknowledge and pay my respects to the traditional owners and elders, past and present, right across Australia and the Torres Strait. Well, I'm so excited to be launching Purpose and Passion, our new book. And I have one of our wonderful fellow co-authors with us today, Dr. Marie Anderson. Please welcome Dr. Marie.
Hi, Peace.
Hello, how are you?
Lovely. Yes, it's beautiful and sunny down here in Melbourne, so I'm feeling very happy.
Oh, that's so good to hear. So, Marie, I would love for you to introduce yourself and tell us a bit about the work that you do for people who might not have met you before.
Sure. I'm a clinical and health psychologist, and I have been working in my private practice for the last 20 years. I work with people who have a variety of different emotional challenges, and essentially what I do is support them in working through those challenges and feeling empowered and inspired to move past what feels really difficult. I run my own clinic in Melbourne, and it's a holistic clinic, so I have other practitioners who work from the clinic, and my background is actually in human resources and occupational rehabilitation, so having that background has kind of really supported me in supporting some of the clients that I have who have problems with pain and maybe work challenges as well.
Yeah, amazing. So your chapter was titled Affirm Your Potential. Can you tell us a bit about why you chose that title for your chapter?
Yeah, the title came to me before I even knew what I was going to write. And what I guess I wanted the readers to get from the chapter was that they can move towards their potential, and affirming their potential is kind of getting to a place where you're steadfast in exercising that potential. So most of the time we're actually moving towards it, and we're experiencing the challenges towards that, and having some highs and lows. But it's really about staying steadfast and getting to where you're going and affirming it with strength and determination.
Yeah, amazing, amazing. At 27, you were given your dream job, but when you got to the office, instead of feeling excited and fulfilled, you felt a sense of emptiness. Can you tell us a bit more about this time in your life?
Absolutely. I remember it like it was yesterday. I'd always been really excited about the work that I was doing in human resources and training. And it kind of shocked me too that here I was with, my own office as personnel manager. And I couldn't believe that I just stood there staring at the wall, wondering whether this was what I should be doing. And in the days that followed that particular moment, there was a real strong sense of emptiness and feeling really stuck in my life that I'd never, had before. And it was really confusing because I was at a time in my life when I had everything. I had the house, I had the marriage, I had the job, I had the income, I had everything. And I couldn't believe how just dissatisfied I was feeling.
So let's talk about the difference between decisions and choices, because after that time, you had to make choices. There's a quote here in your chapter. You say, I became aware of the times that I said yes to things when I actually meant no. And I made decisions based on pleasing others, looking good, not making mistakes, avoiding conflict, dodging judgments, and seeking reassurance that I was perfect. Can you tell us more about this?
Yeah, absolutely. I guess most of the time, we're generally acting automatically. We're doing what we think that we want to be doing. I got to a time in my life when I realized that I was actually doing what I was expected to do, based on my upbringing, based on the social values, based on the people that I was hanging out with at the time. And that wasn't so bad, life wasn't so bad despite that. But when I started making choices where I was listening to my inner voice and I was listening to that intrinsic side of us that we sometimes don't listen to, that's when I started to move in the direction of my potential and start to really believe in what was possible for me and what I could become. So decisions and choices are both important. Decisions are weighing up the pros and cons, and choices are kind of listening to a side of us that's almost sort of pulling us forward, and paying attention to that voice, even if it's scary sometimes.
Yeah, I love that so much. I love that. And there's a quote in your chapter. You say, you ask the question, you pose the question to yourself, I wonder what's possible if I think I'm enough. And it's just so beautiful. Can you tell us more about this?
Yeah, I think a lot of people would feel that for the most part, they don't feel enough. And that's why we keep moving in life, trying to prove that we are. And, we're moving in the directions of what's expected of us in order to feel enough. And, there was a moment when I kind of asked myself, well, if I just say to myself that I am already enough and that I am already who I am meant to be, then what would happen then? And that's the moment when I really came into myself and started to believe that whatever it is that I wanted to do would happen and come into fruition. So even with the challenges and the mistakes and the failures, it didn't mean that I wasn't enough. In fact, those when things go wrong, it actually defines more who we are, because it allows us to solve those problems, right? And it enriches us as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I just really enjoyed reading your chapter, Marie, and thank you so much for sharing your chapter with us. And thank you so much for being here with us today.
Lovely. It was lovely being here. I really appreciate it. And I've loved reading all the stories. And thank you so much for the contribution in helping us contribute to it.
Oh, you're so very welcome. And thank you to everybody who has tuned in today as well. Make sure you grab your copy of Purpose and Passion. It's available at wcwpress.com. We will see you again soon. Thanks so much. Bye.